Hi there, everyone. How you doing? It's Jeff C. It is Friday, March the 7th, and have you had enough of the Wahl affair? Quite something, eh? The mainstream media is so adept at cooking up stories that when there isn't something to report, they make something up. And no better example than this latest affair, which happened a couple days ago. I put up the video, which I really didn't even comment on because I was busy working on other things, which, in my opinion, are more important than this kind of bullshit. But now, in lieu of all the evidence that has come forth since, I can see how this event is being used and how it was all staged. And I thank my good friend here, Red Pill Revolution, who took a look at my video and called it bullshit right away. Good job, friend. I agree totally. And now a lot of people are coming forth. Paul Joseph Watson just did a piece on it. I saw Review Manify did a great piece on it as well. So I'm here to spread the word. Solidarity amongst us truthers. We need to get this message out. Whenever they pull this kind of bullshit, we've got to call it out. And that's what's so great about right now, about having the internet and everybody being able to connect, because I'm not going to see everything. Nobody's going to see everything, but every one of us can take a piece and, examine it and then add our own sort of perspective on it, and then perhaps new information comes in. So when I put up this piece, it had just sort of come out. Then, just shortly after, Liz Wahl did appear in mainstream media. The first thing she did appear on was with James Kirchick, right? So I'm going to show you a bit of this interview here and offer some comments about what is going on.
She used to cover the news, now she is the news.
Personally, I cannot be part of a network funded by the Russian government that whitewashes the actions of Putin. I'm proud to be an American and believe in disseminating the truth, and that is why, after this newscast, I'm resigning.
And with that, Liz Wahl was out, and a Russian-backed news network was scrambling, officially saying there are better ways for employees to air their grievances, preferably not on air. It's all a moot point because, as I said, Liz Wahl isn't on air. She's on our air, here to explain why she took herself off their air.
All smiles too,
Liz,
eh?
Welcome. Already, the critics are coming out saying this was a publicity stunt. What do you say?
They're coming out as a publicity stunt. I mean, if telling the truth is a publicity stunt, then whatever it is, call it what you want. This has been something, especially amid the crisis in Crimea, this network has been used in an unprecedented way as a propaganda machine to deliver the foreign policy views of Vladimir Putin. And I think eventually you have to draw a red line in your career or in many things. And the red line for me came on Wednesday when I was anchoring, and censorship was unlike I've ever seen it before. I interviewed former Congressman Ron Paul. I used the word Russian military intervention, and just uttering those words were cut in the newscast. I couldn't use the word military intervention.
How long, Liz, have you been at RT?
I've been there, Neil, 2.5 years.
All right. So in all the time you were there, you knew it was Russian TV, right? I mean,
yes.
Right?
In all the time it was there, I mean, I came on board. I saw it as an opportunity. I mean, I understood the geopolitical stance of Putin. I didn't realize, I guess I wasn't aware of how much of his views would actually be pushed in the newscast.
Yeah, look at that face, right? Like, you're working for a news organization that's called Russia Today that is owned and funded by the Kremlin. And you think you didn't realize how pro-Russian Russia Today would be? Yeah, whatever.
First time you'd seen it, though, because there have been a number of instances, certainly in the last 2.5 years, that would certainly remind me that he involves himself.
You're absolutely right about that, and I've thought about it for months and months back. Jamie Kirchek, the man that originally broke when I did this, when he came out to speak out against the anti-gay laws, anti-gay propaganda laws, I thought he made a very heroic gesture on the air by protesting that. I saw the positive response that garnered. And you know, to be honest, I was scared. I wasn't sure what the...
You're still the stuttering, muttering prick you always were, Wahl. Piss poor fucking journalist and an even worse anchor.
Repercussions would be. But I can say, Neil, that since this has happened, I've gotten an overwhelmingly positive response, especially from the people of Ukraine, voicing their appreciation for what I said.
Well, the people of Ukraine. Yeah, is that all the people of Ukraine? What about the 70% of people who are of Russian ethnicity that live in the Crimean Peninsula? I wonder if they share your enthusiasm.
Not everyone there. Your RT editor-in-chief, or your former boss, I guess, Margarita Simonyan, she lashed out at both you and Abby Martin, who was also critical of the Russians' role in Crimea, and saying essentially of you, not only was it a promotional stunt, it was orchestrated to secure, quoting here, fantastic career prospects they wouldn't have dreamt of before. What do you say to that?
Neil, to be honest, I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew that this was the truth, and I knew that I had to do it on air because our viewers, and it's interesting because RT does have a following. It tends to be a kind of fringe following, and people actually believe what's being said on air here. And
can you see the irony in that? I mean, this is a girl who's going to work for the most massive brainwashing bullshit propaganda machine that has ever existed. That is the United States corporate media. And she's calling the pot's calling the kettle black here. This is just hilarious.
Right now, as we're approaching a possible Cold War, as the world is escalating possibly to that point, we have this war of words. This is part of this war of words. This is part of his strategy. And I think our viewers and the world needs to know exactly what this network is about. It's about...
Well, but I guess this senator, this Margarita Simonyan, had offered, even in the case of your former colleague, Abby Martin, go to Crimea and see for yourself what's going on there. She declined. I don't know if the same offer was made to you, but they feel that this is the kind of stuff that you should discuss privately. You chose to do so on air. Why?
I did. Well, I brought up to them numerous times that I was uncomfortable on the stances that they've taken on many stories. But the truth is, Neil, they're not interested in presenting the truth. And on Wednesday, when I saw this unprecedented censorship, that was a red line for me. Abby didn't go to Crimea because she said that she thought it was going to be a vetted PR trip for her. So that was not.
Well, what do you do now? People don't know that you used to be an intern here at Fox News. I think you work with Sean Hannity. What do you do now?
What do I do now? Well, it's all happening very, very quickly. I'm taking it one day.
Have you had any job offers?
It's all been happening really, really quickly.
Have you had any job offers? Who has called you up?
I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't expecting the firestorm of controversy
I know that, but
and
if people
feedback
called you up, if people say, "Hey, we admire what you did. We want to talk to you."
I don't know.
Is there any place you wouldn't go outside of RT? Is there a place you would not go?
I would not go to North Korea.
Okay. Would you go to MSNBC?
Maybe.
Would you go to CNN?
Yes.
Whoa. Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see what offers stand.
Would you go to Fox Business? If you don't have it, you should demand it.
I should demand it. I am demanding this.
Okay.
Now, on air, on TV.
We'll watch closely.
It's all a promotional stunt anyways, isn't it?
That's what they're saying. But you say no. Okay. Let's thank you very, very much. We'll have more right after this.
Look at this bitch, eh? All smiles and chuckles now. All smiles and chuckles. Her husband is in the military. Works on an American military base. And, Yeah, she was an intern at Fox News. Mm-hmm. And her first interview, actually, I kind of made a mistake here because I thought it was going to James Kirchick, but James Kirchick was her first interview, and her second interview, which came a mere 2 hours, I believe, after the initial live broadcast where she stepped down, was with none other than CNN, Anderson, CIA, Vanderbilt, Cooper. Right? Seriously, this bitch just pulled off a stunt, and she is getting money. That's why she's giggling like a little schoolgirl here. And she knows that she's got a job, whether it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, whatever corporate whore media station is willing to bid the highest or whatever one, set her up to fucking carry this whole charade out. And that's exactly what it is. It's just more bullshit propaganda, and it is more crap that is there to distract you and keep you from being focused on what is really happening out there. These clowns in the MSM media, they're the worst people, period. And look, RT does some good stuff because RT is always attacking the American, British corporate media, right? Because that's their job. They want to stir up unrest here in North America and in Europe. So it's an easy target for them. But they are 100% propaganda as well, right? And we all have to be aware of who, all the time, who owns these media stations, what their intentions are. And we can never even rest when they start pulling this shit. And I'm so glad that everybody's jumped on it. Congratulations to everyone else for doing a hell of a job showing this thing. I thought I should put my 2 cents in. And hopefully the word reaches the sheeple. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Leave your comments below, and I wish you all the very best.